Hey Clashers, today I'm going to react to my most important 3-star ever in my Clash of Clans career. And I think you're going to get a lot of context with watching the video with me, so I think we should just jump into it. Let's go! Oh my goodness, this studio back then was so cool. And I feel like that's like, I'm just getting goosebumps just from remembering those situations. I feel like, I don't know, those live events were so different. That was just crazy. What's so cool, well, you can see right now the format. And I will just talk over it a little bit worse, like no background music or something, because I feel like that's the best thing on how I can give you the feelings I had about like that back then, because oh my goodness, those live events. I want to have them back so bad, and I hope that later this year it's going to work with the Clash Worlds Finals. Superstar already announced that, but now let's take a look at another intro. We are Tribe Gaming, and I'm iTzu.
I'm Maxi. Hi. I'm Jack.
My name is.
The boys, oh my goodness, we looked so different. Especially I look completely different, and not in a good way. I really need to lose weight again. Oh my goodness, this is just so bad, but let's just keep going. Let's just skip this quickly.
Smutke.
And I'm Sabix.
In real life, we don't get a chance to meet up very often because we live far from each other, but we meet up very often in voice chat and talk to each other and chat via social platforms. So I think that we know each other very well, but the
Database
are rather rare, although we prefer to be together.
I think the most important thing to be successful as a clan is to find a mix between being ambitious and having a really healthy and positive clan atmosphere.
Throughout the years of playing Clash of Clans, we got to know a lot of players and a lot of clans who we are trying to stay in contact with, which is really nice. But also, especially on these events, we always meet new people, and these are people that we share passion with, playing Clash of Clans, and because of that we are always very open-minded and happy to meet new Clashers from all over the world.
I will turn off the sound again because it's just pretty much me talking in German, because I've just noticed with like watching the video that I have only done this video in German, so I feel like it's even cooler to do now direction in English as well, because oh my goodness, just seeing all of the old legends again, like Maxi, who unfortunately retired, Jack, the true legend himself, the Clash of Clans GOAT, retired sadly as well. I think Sabix is still around, Mutke as well, like he's not as, like they're not as, I don't know if I want to say active, but like as present anymore. But yeah, so I think we should like dive into like how everything felt back then, because oh my goodness, this felt so different. I feel like a lot of you guys maybe who just recently joined the competitive scene, the Clash esports scene, the Clash world scene, don't really understand where we're coming from, kinda. So I feel like that's the perfect start where we should start our journey with this video as well, and what I'm talking about. Because first of all, I didn't know Jack would play E-Dragons, but hey, totally fine with me. That's something we're going to talk about later on anyways, because Jack is just built different. This guy is just insane. But yeah, so the one thing you saw in the beginning with the format, we have 2 groups. That's how it worked back then. 2 groups, 2 teams out of each group is going to make it out of the group, and then we're going to have a quick playoff bracket where it's seed 1 versus the one on the one group versus seed 2 on the other, and the other way around. And then the winners are going to face in a best of 3 in the finals. That's how the entire bracket has worked. This is one of our first beginning matches. And one thing which was different back then for sure is just the triple rate. I mean, that's something a lot of people are talking about. And I think overall it's better for the game how it is right now, that it's so easy. I think it's just way better. I think Supercell, or like more like the game, is way more popular again. Even though obviously for the pro players it's not optimal. Let's put it like this. But yeah, I guess it is worth it just for the game being more healthy overall, like having more players, I guess. But it is what it is. But overall, one thing I miss so bad are those live events. Just meeting the players, meeting the different teams in person is feeling so different. This is like the one thing which I probably miss the most. Let me know in the comments how your feeling is about that. Were you part already of this journey with the esports Clash of Clans, where we had those live events, where we had monthly qualifiers, where in person you have to fly to the studio and take part in this? Were you part already of the community back then, or is this something completely new for me? Let me know down below in the comments, but I miss that so bad, and that's why I'm so hyped for the end of the year, and I really hope that Supercell can make it work, because they have announced, like in their announcement text for 2022, they have said that, well, they want to have an offline finals if possible. So I really hope that that's going to work, and I really hope they can make it work somehow. And as well, like just being a person next to each other is just such a big difference. Not only for like pictures like this, where Maxi is preparing for his attack, but no, like overall, it is just so different. The energy, the atmosphere, and as well, I think that we might not see as high stars sometimes. I don't think it's a big difference, but being on stage is always something completely different to what you experience when you're from home. You're kind of in your comfort zone. Yes, you have to have the face cam active, but at the same time, that is not the same as sitting in a studio. Trust me. To all of the guys out there who are saying right now, iTzu, you're so wrong on that. Like, I don't care where I'm clashing. I'm just clashing. Trust me, when you're sitting in a studio and you have cameramans and whatever people running around you and putting your cameras in your face just to have a better shot or something, trust me, it is different. It is way different, to be honest. So yeah, that's something as well, which is, I don't know, it wouldn't change a lot, but it would be like a small factor maybe to make, instead of 15 stars, maybe only 14, who knows. But either way, we can see right now the next attack where it's versus the North Watch. That's another like really old clan family, which that back then was like a popular team, popular clan. So wonder, is there anyone in the comments who's still like from that old times? Is this still like was part back then of North Watch? Let me know. I would love to read those comments. Like, I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, Maxi back then, our Queen Charge Lalo expert. Back then, Queen Charge Lalo wasn't as popular. It was like really hard strategy to pull off, because you have to remember, you have seen that in the beginning, wall breakers were different. We had no super wall breakers. So getting your wall breakers into the multi-frontal, for example, was true hell, because you had to freeze the multi-frontal, or you had to kind of tank it with something. So yeah, it was different. It was really different back then, which was kind of crazy. And as well, like overall how the bases look. Obviously, it is Town Hall 12. It was the max Town Hall level back then. But yeah, you can see completely crushing that base with the double dragons. Back then, you had no headhunters. There were no headhunters to take down defending heroes. That's why you had the double dragon in the clan castle. Warden ability as well to block all of those traps to the back end. Just a beautiful Maxi classic attack right there. And that was actually our second match then in the group stage. I think we're going to take a look at the bracket overall in just a second after this attack. If I remember correctly, this video is really old, to be honest. Like, you can see it with Town of 12 being max, but oh boy, that is good old memories. That is like, there was so much fun back then. And I mean, I really hope that I don't annoy anyone, but just those live events, they were so different. I feel like after watching the bracket, which should come in a bit, I don't know what Maxi just did there, but just the overall setup, like now you have like 8 minutes to plan. Back then, you had hours of planning. But first, let's take a look at the playoff bracket. You can see we had to face off versus PlayStation. PlayStation was an insane good team. And some of the players are still around. Like overall, the Japanese community is so good. And then we had RTK as well on the other side, a Korean team, which was really good as well. DK 2nd Brigade, a Danish team. No clue. It's like Denmark, team from Denmark. But yeah, like overall, that was kind of crazy. But yeah, like overall, okay, that's now my attack which is my most important attack kinda, because you can see it. This is the playoff bracket, which means who loses is out. No second chances as in the group stage. In the group stage, you can still keep going with even losing a match, for example. But this is serious. And take a look at that. Take a look at, like, on top of me. We have the place JP guys with 11 stars, which back then, I mean, what was okay, not the best, but still okay stars. And I have to 3-star this. I really have to 3-star this. And that's a lot of pressure. And I remember still that Maxi told me after that attack, he had no clue how I was able to attack. So, because my hands were shaking so much. So, it was crazy. But one thing as well is, I remember still, like, Maxi came up with this plan. Maxi just totally OP coming in, like saying, okay, lure up the clan castle, then you can queen charge that one side and just like put miners in there. Miners were kind of popular back then. Miners were really, really popular because they were just really good at dodging the tower bomb. That was kind of the main reason why they were so good and why people used them so much. So that was one of the reasons as well. And just like, I remember, I don't even want to watch this, to be honest, because I remember I did so many mistakes. Let's see what I did. First heal is okay. The town was active. Do I use the warden now? No, just heal it because the mines are going to duck under. And yeah, I remember that was my touch on the plan as well with the slammer, because I love to use the slammer to open up walls. That was kind of like my, I don't know, was my signature move, but yeah, I love to do that. That was really cool. And that warden ability, which you just saw, is giving me nightmares. But if I would have failed this because of the stupid warden ability, I think I would have been so freaking mad. So unbelievable mad, I think. Thank goodness I 3-starred this. Otherwise, I mean, I couldn't have slept for a month. I mean, yeah. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Like, no, I was not sure if I need the rage for my queen. Like, the rage was in the beginning planned out for my queen. But because the queen is just like having never so much damage on her, it is no problem whatsoever. Like, the queen is just like going on around the outside, no problem whatsoever. And yeah, I feel like we're going to see a really cool reaction in just a second. And just those reactions as well are not possible with those face cameras which you have with like people playing from home. So yeah, it is just different. Another thing which I remember as it is yesterday, always when it's with Supercell is telling you to keep the stream family friendly. And that's kind of the important thing. So I remember back then, what we said in this current situation was not family friendly at all. So if someone wants to read lips, go for it. I think it's not too hard. But yeah, I was glad we were not on stream with like our voice. But yeah, overall, another thing which I wanted to talk about is just the planning, how that worked. So how it worked was we had a really big room. This room was like separated in smaller rooms with like some sort of, I don't know, setup. I don't know how to call it. But this meant that in this big room, there were then like 8 smaller rooms. So the teams could actually plan. The teams could actually like do their whatever job they had to do. And well, that was kind of then the thing. And overall, we had around about 2 to 3 hours of planning. That's just crazy, to be honest. Like, if I would imagine now that people would have 2 to 3 hours of planning, that would be crazy, right? Like, that would be really crazy. But back then, it was normal with those live events. And yeah, like, that was just crazy. I'm really looking forward to then again see live events again, because to be honest, I have no clue how they're going to handle it, because the people need to be on stage, right? But at the same time, they need to plan. So when is this planning going to happen? So it might happen that with people being on a live event, that we are going to have more, or like the players are going to have more planning time again. I don't know if that's completely wrong or if that somewhat makes sense, because just like how it works, like physically, you need to be on stage, but at the same time, you cannot block the stage. And you have only 8 minutes, so when should you walk on stage, if you know what I mean? So that's going to be kind of tricky. But overall, I'm just super excited to have live events again. And hopefully at the end of the year it's going to work to some degree, and hopefully pandemic isn't going to destroy it again. But yeah, that would be awesome. Another attack from iTzu. I have to put him twice in here because he's just the monster of Tribe Gaming back then. He was just a genius with attacking. I remember back then this attack was the plan with this specific queen charge, I think, from me, because you can see it again with the slammer for opening the walls. I loved that move back then. I felt like it was such a cool move, and you could always save freezes with that, because otherwise you cannot wall break into multi-inferno towers without freezing, because you only had regular wall breakers, right? So that was something I was doing a lot. And that was kind of the crazy thing about iTzu. Like, you could give him any strategy. Like you saw in the first attack, he did E-Dragons. And then next attack, he's doing Queen Charge Miners. He's like, whatever you give him, as long as the plan just works, he's going to execute it perfectly. He's going to just pull it off, just get things done, just the 3-star in, and just do his thing. Like, that was just so crazy back then. Like, how consistent he was with those attacks. And wow. What a time getting this 3-star in. Always great to see. And but yeah, back to the format now, because we are right now in the finals. The finals is going to be a best of 2 with my attack, which we have just seen before this one. We got into the finals, which why it was so important. And with this one, you can see as well, this was the first match of the best of 3. Actually, it came down to the wire. We had the full match, the full setup overall, the full 3 matches. And this now is one of the last attacks, or like first attack in the last match. And you can see it's best of 3, it's 1-1. So whoever is going to win this match is going to win the first qualifier, the first ever qualifier. I feel like that's really important to note. This is the first ever World Championship qualifier. No Clash Worlds before, no qualifier before. This is the first Clash Worlds qualifier which ever existed. So this right now is the finals. It's 1-1, and someone has to win, obviously. And Mutke is going in with a really cool Queen Charge idea. And again, we are using the siege machines to get rid of those walls, because oh my goodness, it was so hard to break through them with having multi-inferno towers everywhere. Like, multi-inferno towers were everywhere. They were so good in covering those openings and making sure those wall breaks are not easy at all. But yeah, just the idea was really great. He took Valkyries in the clan castle because at the same time, again, there were no headhunters whatsoever, right? So taking down the clan castle nice and easy with that. And then the queen is slowly approaching that town. It's really funny looking, in my opinion, with the spells. Like, you only have heal, you only have rage, nothing in between. No freezes, no invisibility, no, I don't know, whatever. So that's kind of funny, to be honest. That's really strange. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? That's how things started. And at the same time, what I'm seeing right now at the top side on the right side, those bitter huts, they look so different. It is crazy. It is crazy how, like, visually the game changed overall, and how things have changed overall in Clash of Clans. And now there they are, the miners. The reason why they're so popular is because, I mean, they can dodge the town of poison, or the town of, not the poison. There was no poison back then, but they can dodge the town of explosion. And because you're playing hybrid now, the main reason why you're playing hybrid now is because you want to protect the royal champion. Miners are like ducking under, or like going underground, which means it leaves the royal champion completely open to damage from everything. And that's why it's so important to mix Hog Riders in, because that's going to protect your royal champ, right? Because the miners are ducking under, but at the same time the royal champ is staying on top, and as well the Hog Riders are staying on top. So the heal spells are covering then the hogs and everything. So this is why hybrid works so well. But yeah, on this one you can see the healers are switching. Healer switches were back then even more powerful. I think Supercell already reduced the healing power from healers onto troops. Like, that was back then a big problem. Like, Packet Smash was so powerful. It was kind of crazy. But now you can see as well, things are getting a little bit close right here. And yeah, miners are kind of surrounding the Inferno Tower, but the Warden coming in clutch with another 3-star then. And as I said, back then a 3-star was really something special. But as I said again, for the game overall, I feel like right now, how it is right now, it is overall better. not for the competitive scene, but overall. And that's how it all finished. We won that qualifier. Those pictures were just so cool in person, everything. And I just miss this. I miss it, and I hope it's going to come back. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. And well, see you guys tomorrow again. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.